Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're looking at NFL Dream Team and my updated team with less than a week to go until kickoff. So I guess just quickly getting on today, just to I guess firstly plug the league. We've got 19 teams. We're looking for one more. So if you are interested, jump on and join with the league code 193300, or I will put the link in the description below this video. So thanks for everyone who has got on board. Should be a cracking season. But we'll have a look at my updated team. So made a few changes since I guess I first looked at my team specifically. And the first thing you might notice is there is a lot of budget on the table. So 16 mil, 16.5 mil in the budget. And I guess it's a slightly different strategy. Obviously, you might sort of think, well, you can use that budget to get more players that are playing on field. But I think there's a lot of really good value options. So I'm sort of leaning towards that a little bit more. So you'll see a couple of sort of cheaper players have found their way into my team. Um, and yeah, so I guess starting at quarterback, sorry, just didn't mean to scroll so far down. No changes there. I still like Richardson, Daniels, Williams, all at their price. I think they all offer really good value. So happy to lock them in. And running backs, so I've still got McCaffrey, obviously, as the captaincy option. Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson, I'm expecting to, go to the next level and potentially, end up in the top three alongside McCaffrey. And then I have gone a bit cold on Kamara. I do like him as a player, but I think there's a little bit more value in a couple of other options. So I have gone for James Cook currently from the Buffalo Bills. But if we just do a little trade, there is a couple of players around that area I like, and I'm not, 100% set on um, Cook. Like for a couple of mil extra, I could go Pacheco. Um, I like Josh Jacobs at his price too, especially given the news AJ Dillon is out for the season. Marshawn Lloyd, his sort of next bit of competition, has had injury as well. So he could have a big start to the season. So much so I might have just talked myself into him right now. Yeah, so probably, it's between those three. Pacheco's a little bit more expensive, but I think I'm going to, go with Jacobs actually now that I've thought about it a bit more. And then Zamir White is a lock on the bench. I think, workhorse running back at the Raiders at that price. And then Rico Dowdle I've got. So sounds like they're sort of going to share the workload between him and Big Zeke. So I imagine he'd be more in the early down type role. And then, Big Zeke for short yardage, end zone areas, that sort of thing. So yeah, so I don't mind him at his price. Obviously there's all those cheap rookies that you could go with, but I just don't know if any of them have a mass or as big of a role to start with as Dowdle potentially will. So then in the wide receivers, so I've stuck with Hill and Lamb. Hill just because he is probably the number one wide receiver in the game. CeeDee Lamb clearing away number one target at the Cowboys, which are a really good offense. But then I've gone the mid-price options, so Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson, Drake London. And I guess the thinking behind this is, the plan is always to sort of upgrade these guys to the other keepers. So if we go to wide receiver, the likes of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. So, some people might say, well, save yourself a trade and bring them in. But I guess the issue, if you start with those guys, is we don't have the cash generation. So, And it's not to say I think all three of these guys will go off. I think they will, but I think in reality, what will happen is two of the three will, and whichever is the third one that doesn't quite kick off, well, we've got plenty of cash in the bank to fix that sooner rather than later. But also, I guess, doing this does allow us to bring in the extra cheapie. So I think I had Harrison and Neighbours to start with. I've brought in Lad McConkey at the Chargers. Just not a lot of target competition there. So I think Lad will get a good run. So I've included him in the list. But this could be an Xavier Worthy if you like, or any other of those cheap wide receivers that are available. But I guess where I have decided to save trades is basically in the bottom half of the list. So I've upgraded to Laporta and Kelsey. Top two options, I think, in my opinion. Bowers is the cheap option that I think will make the most money, but I don't envisage having to trade except for injury in this area. And same thing with kickers and defence. So Bates and Cardi had them the whole time. They're fine. Kansas City, I'll play every week, and then when they're on the bye, Washington can cover for 1 week. So we do get a few trades. Um, when I save the team, it'll tell me how many. It's a little bit slow. I know it doesn't yet, but yeah, I don't remember the exact number of trades off the top of my head, but it's basically going to be through rotating these guys and getting to the stage where we have two elite quarterbacks. The running backs actually aren't too bad. Like I think if I stuck with these guys for most of the year, we'd be okay. Um, but obviously injuries and stuff come up, cheap options come up out of the ground. So I'll just be rotating through our skill positions in order to generate value for our team. But I'll wrap the video up there. It's just a short one, just like update it. Like I said, try and pump up that final league position. So the league code, just once again, is 913300. But I'll put a link in the description below this video. If you've got any other questions, comments, thoughts, add them in the comments. Give us a like if you enjoy the NFL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.